Okay, so I didn't sneak into a NASCAR event, but now that I have you here, I think you're really gonna like this video. It turns out NASCAR thought that I was cool enough to go to their event as a very important person. I'm not sure why though. Now going into this, I didn't know a lot about NASCAR. My wife Rochelle's dad watched it a lot, really loves it, actually used it as a bonding opportunity for his dad, but this was gonna be my first ever race, and I was excited. It all starts that morning at the track when they picked me up in a sick ride. Okay, it was a golf cart, but it's still pretty cool. Let's roll the footage. Now, one of the coolest parts about this experience was how much access they gave me, and they gave anyone who bought these VIP passes. I was walking back into team garages.
It's like an autograph zone. Open the bottom. Fans come up, get something signed.
Through their haulers.
Now, right now, the cars would be right above us. Each one of these haulers holds 2 NASCARs. Someone's juicing, dude. The crowd's pulling up. It's loud. It's exciting. I think it's cool. At
one point, I thought they were going to let me drive a car, and they immediately said no. And that's when I met him, Kevin Harvick, my GOAT. Now, it turns out Kevin Harvick is a bit of a legend. He's a multi-time champion, one of the best NASCAR drivers there's ever been, and this was his last year racing. And that's when I first heard about it, the wedding.
In case you didn't hear, there's gonna be a wedding in the pits. Very cool. I'm gonna ask him if I can officiate.
You see, at NASCAR races, it's not only about the racing. People do crazy shit all the time. And I'm not just talking about a giant orange rolling on the track, Kevin Harvick, my GOAT, almost hitting a squirrel that he called a cat. There was going to be a wedding, aka the world's fastest wedding, during a pit stop during this race. I had to be there.
Yeah, unexpected. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone who signed up knew about the wedding.
But first, let's check out the pit crew. Learn a little bit about them, see how Kevin's different, and see where we're gonna watch the race from.
We are right now walking down to our pit stalls, pit stall number 38. So during the race, we're gonna get to watch some of it from the pit, which is really cool. Put the headphones on, listen to the actual team talking to the driver.
Kevin's pit side.
Yeah, I like it.
Like his whole career pretty.
Yeah, it's way cooler than the number. Yeah. My pit sign, big middle finger, you know what I'm saying? To the competition.
Next on our list was the drivers meeting. You see, at most of these tracks, they have a behind closed door meeting to tell the drivers what they can and can't do, certain differences in the track, and what the rules are gonna be for the day. One of the differences at Vegas is that everyone is invited to watch that. And the only way in is on the red carpet. And so this is where the title and thumbnail become true. I snuck in between Nick Cannon, who is driving the pace car this week, and Chase Elliott, a driver who was going to be racing in this event. With my racing jacket on, my mustache nice and coiffed, I thought, of course they're gonna think I'm a driver.
Oh yeah.
I have something to admit. Those cheers were fake. In fact, not a single person knew who I was. There was one really nice guy who cheered for me, but other than that, most people ahead of me were cheering for Nick, the people behind me were cheering for Chase, and I used all of those cheers to fake it. In fact, I was a little embarrassed walking down that red carpet, but I'm glad I did it, and I made it to the drivers' meeting.
We made it through.
Philanthropist, author, and activist Nick Cannon.
And let's just say I was rubbing shoulders with some bigwigs, aka the president of NASCAR. I gave him some ideas, faster cars, nitrous, maybe some ramps. He did not like a single one of them and immediately walked away. He was a nice guy though. After the drivers meeting, it was time to check out the car. I mean, that's the reason we're here, right? I got to go take pictures with it, check it out. Did you know that all the lights on there are stickers and anything that adds weight would of course not be on a race car? We watched him introduce the drivers, we signed the track, which is something really cool that anyone can do down there. We saw Sugar Ray perform.
It's Sugar Ray. He made that song one day. We've been listening to it walking around. I thought it was the radio and it was actually him performing. Sounded pretty good.
And it was time to head back. The race is about to begin. Now, as this race started, I have to say it was so unbelievably loud. They gave me earplugs, but the cars were shaking my skull. It was exactly the experience you want with just some good old-fashioned fast cars going around a track. And I got to watch it from what I believe to be is the best seat in the house, their pit. All right, so the race has been going on. We're a few laps in, and it's time for the first pit stop. And if you remember from earlier, something very special is gonna happen at the first pit stop, aka the world's fastest wedding, and I was first in line. Actually, I was one of the only people in line. It was me, camera crews from every news station, and the bride and groom. When they said, does anybody object? I said me, but they couldn't hear me over the sound of the NASCARs driving. They kissed. It was a beautiful moment, but we don't have time for this. Back to the race. Now, these races take a while, and I've been soaking in the NASCAR atmosphere. I knew I needed something to commemorate this visit. I needed something with Kevin Harvick's face on it. So I went over to the NASCAR fan zone. On our way there, we saw the trophy.
So this is the trophy. This is what everyone is competing for over the whole season. The race this weekend is top 8. We're going to cut it down to top 4, and then they're going to race in Phoenix for that. Very sick. They put it behind bulletproof glass, so I didn't steal it.
And finally made our way to the Stewart Haas booth so we could get that sweet, sweet merch. When I locked eyes with that shirt, I knew it was the one. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Team Kevin Harvick forever.
Oh, yeah. I'll be honest, I thought this was the front, and that's why I liked it. I thought it was so funny. But hey, we get by.
All this fun had me hungry.
All right, we're about halfway through the race. We checked out the fan zone, the pit crew, the garages, and now it's time to eat some food.
And I will say, I made the same Glizzy mode activated joke from that TikTok video with Ninja the other day. I made it maybe 500 times. It's not funny, and the people around me heard it.
Glizzy mode activate.
They had vegan cheese, which is actually really cool, and we activated Glizzy.
That was really good. Evil Pie, best pizza in the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'd stake my life on it.
Finally, it was my moment. If we were gonna get Big Kevin a win in his final race in Las Vegas, they had to get the true motorsport manager in the pit. So I climbed up, put on my headset, and very quietly listened while the race engineers talked to him. This was by far the coolest experience for me. I've spent, I don't know, hundreds of hours playing racing simulation games on my stream, pretending like I know a little something, and hearing the different things they tell the driver, they don't tell the driver, the telemetry on the screen, the spotter up there who's telling them if they're 1 wide, 2 wide, 3 wide, 2 wide, 1 wide, 3 wide, the entire time. This was such a sick perk of going to the event. And they didn't let me say a single word. They wouldn't even let me take any pictures of the screens just in case I leaked it to another team, which I respect. And guess what? He did it. And by did it, I mean he didn't win, but he did great. They actually honored him at the race because he is the only driver to drive at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway every year since its creation. They gave him this big neon sign, they told him congratulations, and they wished him luck on his journey. Ladies and gentlemen, I never thought I'd go to a NASCAR event, but I had such a fun time. I'm getting more and more into motorsport, and I would say that if this is something that interests you, if maybe you've checked out other disciplines in the past, go to a NASCAR race. Have a good time. The fans are good people. The organization is good people. The VIP ticket gives you unparalleled access to things. And hell, maybe you'll see me there next time. But remember, if I catch you on the track, I'm putting you in the wall. Catch you guys next time. Hope you like this vlog style video. Peace.